Hello aspirants, welcome to another session of the daily newspaper analysis. This video is brought to you by the Gurudev Academy. Firstly, we'll look at the topics. These are the topics that we are going to look at from today's newspaper. Firstly, we are looking at this news article. Here, the first news article talks about Vostok 2022 begins in Russia with India, China participating. Okay. So, what is Vostok? Vostok is the military exercise. Okay, military exercise that is being conducted in Russia. It is a military exercise conducted in Russia, and from India, which is the contingent, Indian Army contingent that is participating. It is the Gorkha Rifles. Okay, very important. Gorkha Rifles that are participating here. One more important thing that you have to note here is which are the other countries that are participating. There is a long list of countries that is given here. So ideally, this won't be important for your exam, but still just look at the list which all countries are participating. Please remember that India is also participating, and from India, the army contingent of Gorkha Rifles are participating here. Right. Then nextly we are looking at this one, that is 7 states give cold shoulder to Center's crime portal. Okay. So recently, that is in 2020, the government here has come up with a new crime portal, that is your crime multi-agency center. Okay. This has been launched in 2020 by the Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, Ministry of Home Affairs has launched this. See, this is a very important portal. What is the use of this portal is that if there is some criminal, serious criminal offences that are happening, like human trafficking and other important criminal offences in a state, the data is uploaded in this portal here, the website. The data is uploaded with, regarding this crime, and this data can be accessed by all the law enforcement agencies in the country. Fine. So this is the important aspect about your crime pact, that is your multi-agency center here. See, this crime multi-agency center, it has to be implemented by all the states. Implemented means that under this portal, that is your crime map portal, all the state governments have to share the important criminal offences data. Okay, it has to be shared on this website, and all the law enforcement agencies in the country will be able to access this information. Similarly, we have a few other portals that has been established by your Ministry of Home Affairs for to have better coordination between different state enforcement agencies. Okay, so last month, we had NAT-CRID. Okay, that was inaugurated by the Home Minister. As well as there are different other portals that has been established, like your National Cyber Crime Training Centers. Also, we have your NAFS, that is your National Fingerprint Identification System. What is the use of all this is? So, all the law enforcement agencies will be able to share the data, gather the data, as well as look into the past records of a criminal here. Okay, so these are some of the things that are useful for your national level criminal data portal. Okay, moving ahead, we move on to the next news, that is Indian made HPV vaccine. HPV vaccine this year. So here, this vaccine, the name of the vaccine is Cervical. This Cervical vaccine will be fighting against your human papilloma virus. What is human papilloma virus? This HPV, human papilloma virus, this is the main cause for cervical cancer. Okay, this is the main cause for cervical cancer. Please remember, it is a type of a virus. Okay, so there are two types of viruses that are responsible for your cervical cancer. That is HPV 16 as well as HPV 18. Fine. So to combat this cervical cancer HPV virus, the Serum Institute of India has developed something called as Cervical. Okay, it is the India's first indigenously developed vaccine to prevent cervical cancer. When you look at the data of cervical cancer here, so every year we have around 1.2 lakh cases, cervical cases in India, and according to the latest data, there are around 75,000. This is the old data, 75,000 deaths that happen in a year relating to your cervical data, cervical cancer. Okay, so this is a very important development, and please look at the virus name as well as the vaccine name. These are the two things that you have to remember here. Okay, moving ahead, we have this that has come in the explained section. So explained section here talks, firstly it talks about why has the Supreme Court relaxed the ban on iron mining in Karnataka. Okay. So recently, Supreme Court, that is on August 26th, has released a notification. Sorry, has released a verdict where it has talked about three aspects. Firstly, here it has increased the ceiling limit of iron ore extraction. Okay, how much iron ore mining should be done from Ballari and Chitradurga. Okay, Ballari, Chitradurga, as well as Tumkuru district. So total how much of iron ore can be extracted? Previously the limit was 28 MMT. Now it has been increased to 35 MMT. Okay, this has been increased. Also, there are two other things that has been mentioned in the verdict here. Firstly, the sale outside the state. Okay, so previously the Supreme Court had banned the sale of iron ore outside the state of Karnataka. Now the ban has been relaxed. Now the state government can sell the iron ore outside the state, as well as export of already excavated iron ore from mines in these three districts. So whatever iron ore that has been extracted from these three mines previously, now they can export these iron ore as well, is what the government has notified here. What has been the issue? The issue started in 2010 when a CBI report was submitted to the Supreme Court, which highlighted the ecological as well as the economical damages that has been happening in the state of Karnataka, in the district of Ballari, regarding the iron ore mining. Right? So when this report was submitted in 2010, 2012 was the year when the Supreme Court banned the export of iron ore pellets, as well as after this report came, the Supreme Court had completely banned the iron ore mining. In 2008 and 2011, two Lokayukta reports were also submitted. This report was also highlighted how the state government officials were involved in this illegal mining, as well as in 2011, the report from the Central Empowered Committee. This also highlighted some of the ecological as well as the environmental damages that this iron ore mining was making in the state of Karnataka here. Now, what are the implications of this ban? Of this verdict that the Supreme Court has released? Okay, what are the implications? Firstly, the implication is that, see, India imports cheap quality iron ore from China. Okay, so this cheap quality iron ore, it is harming the local industries. That is why such verdict by the government here, by the Supreme Court here, it brings good news for the steel industries. Okay, so these are some of the implications that we'll be having once the Supreme Court verdict will be applied on these three districts of Karnataka here. Okay, please look at this. Then, so these are the things. So one more important article that has come up in your today's article under your Hindu Explained is affecting the ban on single-use plastic. Okay. Firstly, when we look at what is single-use plastic, see, single-use plastic, the purpose of the single-use plastic is to use them only once. Okay. So, but what happens is that these have a drastic impact on the environment as well as your human health. Why? Because this single-use plastic mainly end up in the oceans, and this single-use plastic are harming the marine environment, is what the article is talking about. When we look at what are the new rules? Okay, so the recently amended plastic waste management rules 2021. It has brought out few of the things where it is implementing the rules of the banning of plastic in the three phases. Okay, in the first phase that started in September 30, 2021, it has completely banned the manufacturing as well as the sale of plastics which are below 75 microns. Okay, this is the first phase. Second phase that starts from July 1st of 2022. So July 1st, 2022, the second phase that starts here, it is banning of single-use items of plastic banners less than 100 microns. It is less than 100 microns. Whatever the plastic single-use items as well as plastic banners are there, as well as import of such plastic is banned completely. That is starting from July 1st of 2022. We are in the second phase. The third phase that starts from December 2022, it says that it will involve prohibiting of use of plastic carry bags below 120 microns. Okay, below 120 micron thickness, whatever plastics are there, they will be completely banned in the third phase that starts from December 2022. Right. So when we look at some of the things, why are single-use plastic harmful? As I said, some of the plastic, single-use plastic, they are both harmful for your terrestrial ecosystem as well as your marine ecosystem. In terrestrial ecosystem, these plastic which end up in the landfills and all, they prevent the penetration of your rainwater into groundwater. Okay, and as well as these plastic, if they are placed over your soils, okay, it causes soil pollution as well. It degrades the quality of soil as well. It enters into the food chain and harms our health as well. These plastic, single-use plastic which are used only once, they end up in marine ecosystem and destroy the marine ecosystem as well. So these are some of the important impacts that single-use plastic have on both ecology as well as our health. Then what are the impacts of environment? Impacts of environment, as I mentioned earlier, both terrestrial and marine. So India, in the fourth United Nations Environment Assembly, okay, that happened in 2019, it was the first country which pushed for the single-use ban of plastic worldwide. Okay, globally there should be a plastic ban. Single-use plastic ban is what India advocated in your fourth UN Environment Assembly, and this resolution was adopted. Okay, it was adopted, which was a good achievement for India. But India, please note that India is not the first country to ban single-use plastic. It is Bangladesh which was the first country which banned the single-use plastics. That was banned in 2002. Okay, so what is the role of manufacturers here? Under the new amendment rules, Plastic Waste Management Amendment Rules of 2021, the rules have highlighted the role of manufacturers under EPR, that is Extended Producer's Responsibility. Under Extended Producer's Responsibility, it is the responsibility of the producer of the plastic as well as the manufacturer of the plastic that they have to have a proper life cycle of a plastic. That is, once the plastic is being used, it is the responsibility of the manufacturer as well as the producer to collect the plastics that have been used, at least to reuse them or recycle them. Okay, so this is the extended producer's responsibility. Lastly, what are the challenges? Okay, when we look at the challenges when it comes to your single-use plastic ban, the single-use plastic ban cannot be completely enforced by the government here. It cannot be completely enforced by the government. There are different stakeholders. Like the public, okay, like the private authorities, like the private companies. Here, the private companies have the responsibility of EPR as well as your local administration. Okay, local administration, which includes your state level, district level administration. So the design of this plastic ban has been designed by the central government. It is up to the state government as well as the other stakeholders, whether your district authorities as well as the private companies which produce the plastics here. It is their responsibilities to look after and to have a effective policies which will enforce this plastic ban here. Okay, so this is some of the things that you have to note here. So that's it from today's video. You can follow us on these social media handles. You can follow us on YouTube, Telegram, Instagram as well as on Facebook. Thank you.